Hello, happy Monday. Good morning, good to see you. We have quite the week in store. Guests every day. Some days we have two guests. We have news, we have conversation, we have laughter. But more than that, we're all back together this week. Like really I got to be gone Friday, but it's Allison Sinclair, Abs, JP.
Wait, you gotta be gone Friday.
Didn't know that. It's my niece's
that's fine.
Bridesmaids luncheon. I can call in if you'd like and give you an update from how delicious the cake is.
JP, we can do it.
Y'all are going to be awesome, but just don't have too much fun without me.
Maybe.
And I'm just putting this out here. I have my first women's committee steering meeting the following Friday.
Oh my gosh. Tell us about this.
I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be very quiet and take a lot of notes. But anywho, Allison Sinclair and I basically are the same person. Okay. We ended up with the same shirt on, different colors. And I'm saying something to Allison Sinclair I didn't think I'd ever say, but show me your buns because apparently you baked this weekend.
No, you said show me your bread.
No, she said
I want to
see your loaves.
Yeah.
Which is funnier? Show me your buns or show me your loaves? This kid baked this weekend.
Yeah. So y'all, I don't know if these things will start rolling out, but we had a whole discussion last week about how we needed to start showing the more human side and the way I took it was JP was like, all right, ladies, y'all are on the train to Carendom. So pull it together.
Yeah.
Show us like your life at home. We need to see more of Alan Abs in the kitchen. Isn't that what you basically said?
Yeah,
it's like you women are talking too much. Just cook. Just do.
Oh, not like cook.
Not
like let me cook.
We can cook in both places.
So what did Abs and I do? We did this. Yes, sir. Yes, man. You tell us what to do and we will go do it. And I went home and started baking and she took a flour arrangement class. And what else did you do? Oh, you did something with your chickens?
Oh, I showed my chickens. And JP, because he cares for us and knows that we are very limited, I was like, hey, how do I load up all these videos? Should I do it on Instagram? And he was like, I'm trying to figure this out. And he goes, or you could just send it to me and I'll put it together. Thank you, sir. So that's going to happen. Like we're going to peel back the curtain. We're going to turn the lights on in our kitchen and let you see into our home.
But it's so y'all are going to die because I laughed because what we need to do now is get Abs because this is a recipe she sent me because she knows I tried sourdough and I tried to make my own starter and I tried to do all that. It was a colossal fail. So she said, okay, bless her heart. I'm going to send her this really simple recipe. But even I could screw it up. And if you watch me, like I used the wrong little attachment for the KitchenAid mixer. I poured the yeast into the hot water and the warm water instead of mixing all the, like I do everything wrong. There's flour everywhere. So I feel like we need Abs version of this recipe. And it would be like, we need one more grain of flour. Okay, perfect. There's 3 cups. Like hers would be so nice and neat.
No, this is not true. In fact, Allison, the reason we love you, well, because it's just, you're so funny. And I'm thinking, why is it this weekend that we both chose to do the same thing and then end up showing up dressed as the same person in different colors? Our pirate shirts. My thrift store shirt. So I will do a video next of sourdough because I'm regrowing my starter. But the reason why we love you.
My starter, then I've had
no, because I failed. I was pouring out starter that I had in the fridge and it was gray. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. I should have taken a picture of that. So I can't wait to see your bread production. Because this is who we really are. And there are times when my husband's like, do people know what you're really like? And I'm like, well, they will now. And I love it. And I'm going to normalize that you get to see the disaster that our kitchens look like when we're baking.
I've got a great
Not the finished product.
Abs.
What? No. Well, we're not going to do that part. We're just going to do the.
No, yours is just
No.
Well, we're just gonna normalize just being real. Except when I send you all these videos, will you put a filter on it because the lighting's terrible and I don't look so
Yes.
good. Okay.
I will put a filter
I
on
didn't
it.
even dare put my face on my
Like, we're gonna be
videos
real,
because
but
it
then can you
was-
Photoshop my face?
Yes!
and
Can you make me really skinny and tall?
make my
Listen.
butt like twice big?
Can you
slim
shrink my
face?
lobes?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You like that?
I got a low shrinking app.
See, mine
Photoshop.
is fun with abs. Hers is, well, I don't even know. My girls were coming up with names for their future bakery. It was funny. That's why I got the name Buns and Loaves. Show me your loaves.
I got a great video idea,
What?
and I don't know why I just thought of it.
What?
We should do when you were talking about like stuff around the house, like that you're doing. Maybe I need to
gosh.
do a before and after or a comparison video of the video Allison sent me of changing Kitty Bear's diaper and then what actually happened.
That should
Like,
happen.
okay, you'll pick her up, you'll get her on the leg, and then it just cuts to like,
Stop! Stop!
Yes.
Stop!
Yes.
No, you missed the whole part. Remember at the end, you're supposed to pick her up and put your nose to her nose and say, I love you, my sweet angel. Have a good day.
can you
It
imagine
never got there.
if my face was right there as she was?
JP, you would still be like Scar. We would be calling you Scar right
Oh,
now.
That's funny.
So yes, this is what's coming in an effort to
What?
show you that we're real people. And you know that, and we know that, but now we're like actually going to have to do it. But yeah, Allison's right. If our lighting looks bad, do not show us,
Just,
just make it better.
yeah,
Okay.
you can do that.
We got
Um,
compliments on the lighting from the show, by the way. From a
Really?
friend of ours said that it gets better every week. They said.
But that's not, do we
I
do
don't-
anything different?
I think that's
Or
just
do you hit the same
It
button?
doesn't matter. The lighting looks great.
Yeah, I needed this set when I was in my kitchen.
Yeah, y'all can just take home one of these lights and like build a home kitchen studio like those TV shows.
we really should.
I don't want to bake again for a long time. I
But
faked
you're
it
good
for
at
one day.
baking. You baked.
I tried gluten-free bread. Didn't work out so well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was really expensive, like organic, gluten-free. I'm like, well, that was a waste. It's basically a rock this morning.
Mm.
Blah.
You know what? I'm sorry
Bleh.
for those of you who have to eat gluten free. I am. I'm sorry. Because I love gluten. I love lamb.
I'm a glutton for gluten.
JP, did you cook in the kitchen this weekend? What'd you do?
It was a long weekend, but my sister was down. Was with
She
me all
is a
weekend.
doll,
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to meet her.
by the
yesterday.
way.
Yeah, she
An
came to church with me.
absolute doll with the biggest, prettiest eyes I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes, so
That's
pretty.
nice.
What a pretty lady.
Yeah.
Lady.
And we went to church.
A little lady.
And she in the car was like, okay, this is Amy Beth, right? Like not Allison, like Amy Beth. I get them confused. And I was like, yes, it's Amy. She says, they both have A names. I get them confused. And then she literally asked for parking. She goes, Amy Beth, Amy Beth, Amy Beth, Amy Beth, to make sure she had it. Yeah.
Well, I bet now she will not confuse us.
I said, I
We're
literally,
like total opposites.
okay, you want to know what I said to her when she said that?
Yes.
I said, one is blonde and extravagant and bombastic, and the other is very introverted, half black, and not.
Ta-da!
That was
Wait,
my
you think
crash
Abs
course.
is introverted?
More introverted than you, for sure. Well, no, she's like me. She's an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
You're just an extrovert.
What is that new word they've invented for the extroverts that were like right on the line of that personality
Smart
test?
and
No.
balanced.
No.
Like,
no. We're perfect.
A bivert.
to get no, there's a new
Biovert?
word. Hey, Emmy, what's the new word? You studied psychology most recently.
Hey, it
What's
can be
the
our word of a day.
I just
Word
call it introverted extroverts.
Okay, there's a
And that's
name for it
Adam's and I.
actually.
It's funny because whenever
That's the name.
when we go out, like Amy Beth and I are such on the same page of like when we get away from people, we're like, let's get out. And then we both just put our heads down and we're out. We leave. But like we don't have to say anything. We just like nod, like, okay.
We need Allison. Can you imagine if the three of us had gone to the town hall or the forum on Tuesday night?
Yeah.
An ambivert.
An ambivert. That's it. See, I told you there was a word. It's an ambivert. It gets really peoply. I get charged up around people, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, I'm out. and then I
An
go dark.
ambivert is someone who exhibits traits of both introversion and extroversion, allowing them to adapt their behavior based on the situation.
Yeah.
They can enjoy social interactions while also valuing time alone to recharge.
That's me. But what's funny is Allison and I are such people like on
You
the,
really
the
are.
test we took. But like I just like I hit a wall sometimes socially. But what's funny is I will not hide it either. Like if I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. It's funny. It's weird.
It is funny for the three of us to go places together. It's happened a few times. Yeah, we went to the governor's Christmas
We're
party.
the Three Musketeers. Keep going.
That was fun. We went to the Algop reception. No, JP, you weren't there.
Mhm.
What else did we do?
We went to the Yellowhammer.
we
50.
went to and so have y'all been trying to give me signals the whole time that it's time to go and I don't pick up on it?
No,
No, not at all.
because this is why you're the perfect part of it. Because whenever I'm done, I can just follow Allison and then she'll do all the socially, whatever.
I can do it, but the older I get, the more unable I am to hide when I'm ready to go. But I love people. I just like them in doses. See?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we're all really good together. Truly good together. Because like at church now, my husband's the one that's staying behind to talk. And I'm like, dude, open the car. I love my church family. But he's the one, it's just like my dad growing up. My mom and I were in the car almost to Waffle House if we had taken 2 cars. And he's staying behind talking. It's the cutest thing. I love it. I love it. And I love that we're all together. But audience, who are you? Are you an ambivert? Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? Like, and if we all meet up at Penny University in September, who are you of the three of us? Because we're the Three Musketeers. We are.
I'm thinking back to let's just take the Yellowhammer event. Like I probably caused us a 45-minute delay in leaving, if you remember that. But it's funny because we're so good together. JP's like the bodyguard. He's like the enforcer. He doesn't miss anything
That's
that
part too.
happens.
I just like to watch.
It is the wildest thing. Like we can be in the corner. Remember that front right corner?
Oh yeah.
You'll see you didn't miss a thing that was happening in the front right corner. But you're also watching the back left corner because there was a whole situation in the back left corner that we walked into.
Yes.
Remember right tards?
Yes. Hey, I watched that as he came up. Yeah.
And then Amy Beth, like I feel like I'm like the little 10-year-old little sister that just like bebops up to anybody. And then I start saying stupid stuff. And Amy Beth so politely just steps in and just like you do with your kid. Gosh, your skin is so soft again.
Well, today I had to like lotion up because I was dry as a potato chip.
You know, when your kids are falling apart in church or something, you just gently lay your hand and you're like, okay, let's don't cause a scene. This is my gentle reminder. Okay. And then mom kind of takes over.
Mhm.
But it's perfect because I need that because then I get nervous and I start saying really stupid stuff. But then Amy Beth, so what are you thinking about the Trinity today? It's actually really perfect.
What are you reading lately?
Yeah. What do you think about the Islamicists?
The Crusades.
yeah.
Yay or nay? Talk to me.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Sorry.
If you're
No,
ever
it's
in
good.
a room with us, you should hang out with us. It's a lot of fun.
We have a good
Shoot.
time together. I was thinking through words that describe us, and I think it really is true that we are news and conversation
It's good.
and laughter. And I don't know how to put that last word. Is it humor? Is it satire? Is it news, conversation with a twist? I don't know, but I'm just thinking of what a good time we have and how thankful I am for all of y'all and that God put us together, because it's kind of ridiculous that you're like, this is what we do for a job.
Yes.
It's awesome.
It is. It's kind of crazy. It's been fun.
It is fun. But there was one person at the Shelby County Forum. I do like to people watch. I like because I want to see this person's here and they're talking to them. That's interesting. With that, they're over there, and I like do a scan. And somebody came up to me at the Shelby County Forum, and while I'm in the middle of people watching, and was like, "Hey, JP, say, are you guys gonna do a runoff tailgate?" And I remember in the moment I was in my head, I was like, "You're interrupting my people watching." And no,
Wait, we are.
but We can. But in the moment, I was like, I'm not even thinking about that. But it's a good thing because people are like, I want another. So it's great. But
aren't we doing a Tuesday night thing?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
We're gonna do a decision desk.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's gonna have dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
music.
And we're gonna have whiteboards everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Should we wear like the old news people hats with like pencils sticking out the back so they can like take notes in their notebook?
It just can't end up like Anderson Cooper on New Year's Eve.
No, that never ends well for him.
You know, like we got to keep it together.
That sentence can mean a lot of things.
We can.
I meant the version that happens on the camera,
Yeah. Okay. Good.
which is still kind of questionable.
It is very questionable. I don't know why I have his card. He's coming on this week. Okay.
Are we gonna yammer? Or are we gonna do Twix or what?
Well, I think based on time, we can yammer at the end because it's not.
I've got
day.
one yammer story I really want to talk about.
Okay, I've got a good yammer story, but JP, real quick, I need you to hit the music because we do have a word of the day.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
It's too loud.
Is it? Is it?
Are you gonna stop the music or?
It's gonna stop right here.
Okay, I'm tired.
All right.
The air conditioner isn't working.
Woo,
It's not.
it's hot. It is hot.
I'm
It's why I got
sweating.
old lady tissues right here. Okay. All right.
It's quite the
The
Monday.
word of the day.
Do do do
I love that song.
do.
And
you guys
I can
like
have it
our-
to where I can change the volume.
John from Minor says he likes the music, so we're keeping the music. Don't look at my word of the day.
I saw that.
Oh no! I'm
Cheat.
sorry. I was
Cheated.
like, I thought John texted you.
No. He
and so I
texted
was
when
like,
you were gone.
when
and
you
said
were
that
gone.
the music was funky.
So this is our word of the day music, and you know it's the word of the day because that's your cue. All right, quickly. This word means pleasant or agreeable to the taste, acceptable or satisfactory to the mind.
palatable. I do cheat, but I did not cheat that time. I swear.
That's
No,
impressive.
I don't mean to cheat, but
Yeah.
last week
No
I
one
did.
ever
I
does.
looked.
It's kind of like what just happened where she just.
I thought John was texting you. Okay, palatable.
That was good.
So it can be palatable or not. So what is the Gen Z version of palatable?
Gas. Maybe.
Gas?
Okay, that's gas.
I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
can you say that's not gas?
Mid would probably be it.
I love
Okay.
mid.
Okay.
I've heard
Yeah, for
Molly
me-
and Will use the word mid.
Yeah, for me, mid doesn't even mean mid though anymore. It just means bag. Like
Bag?
bad. Excuse me.
Bad.
Bad.
Mid. Okay.
Yeah.
Palatable. You know, we're palatable.
Y'all are.
Not to everybody.
Well, but to ourselves.
That's all that
all that
matters.
matters.
Cheers.
And a few people at the Shelby County Republican.
Girl, that place was packed.
I can't believe I missed it. I honestly,
Like, that
I'm
was the
glad
biggest
I
one that
wasn't
you
there.
missed. We would have never gotten out. No, we wouldn't have gotten out of there.
no, I'm glad I wasn't there because it seemed very tense.
It was.
It was
Well, no,
tense.
well,
It was tense. No, not because we missed you.
yeah, we did.
It doesn't seem like it.
No,
That's
we
okay.
missed you, but the problem is, Allison Sinclair, we would have never even found our seats because
No, we
everybody
wouldn't.
would have wanted to talk to you. And then when we left, it was still hard to get out. Thank God people wanted to talk to us. But you know everybody. And I had to,
Yeah, I would have had us there. It would have been like midnight before we did the video in the car.
So
And
did
But
you like our car
I
video?
don't like confrontation, which is funny coming from me because
Yeah, you
I'm
love
not
comfort.
afraid to spew it sometimes.
Semi-professional pot stirrer over here.
Yeah, but I just feel like there was. Did y'all see anything in the bathrooms?
I didn't go to the bathroom.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to get
Nobody
cut.
went to the bathroom.
But it was very tense and I didn't enjoy it. I think Jay and Ben's race was fine.
That was the AG race was good.
AG race was really good.
Jay and Ben. Yeah.
But the others were very tense. And I'm like, is this, which is what I'm asking in the newsletter, and I'm asking all of us, is this really what we want to do? So anyway,
And I'll say this too. In the video, My name Beth asked me how many people I thought were there. I said 150, 200. Apparently somebody commented from the like one of the people that
300 of
did the
it.
event, 300. They said they counted 300 with chairs alone. And there was people standing on the wall.
It was standing room only.
Like
That worked out really well for Shelby County, the Republican Party club, whatever there, because remember, they were supposed to host one of the very first like normal candidate forums before the runoff. But I think the runoff, like everybody's already picked their side.
yes.
And everybody's very passionate about their side. And that probably was great for Shelby
Yes.
County to get that kind of publicity.
I'll say this, and then we can do Gen Z word of the day. I'm one like I love kind of being in that competitive. Like I grew up around that, and like that's like I thrive off of it. I love it. But there was moments where in the crowd or in the like the tension, like I was like, "Woof." It's hot in here, dude. This is tense. And like
It was spicy.
I was like, somebody's gonna fight like right now.
No,
But
no,
Fight,
truly,
fight, fight.
that's genuine.
Mhm.
Like literally at any minute, you're like, do we need to like? Does JP need to run up and referee?
It's like, all right, listen. We went over the rules in the back. Any questions from you? You? All right.
I do. I think this is a worthwhile discussion because watching, if you're keeping up with Facebooks and all the social media, things are deteriorating very quickly between camps and on
Yes.
campaigns. And I remember this specifically from the Senate race last time. Katie Britt, Mike Durant, Mo Brooks. It got ugly. This one might be worse.
It's a different.
And I think we need to talk about it because I feel like there need to be some kind of social compact rules of how you engage in political warfare because it is. It's a war of ideas. It's a war of policy. It's a war of personality. But there has to be some sort of limit to what you will go to win. And I don't know what that is, but I'm seeing some things that I'm like, I don't know if I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and anyway, I don't know if we can revisit that
Yes,
at
let's
some time
revisit
today.
that.
yeah, let's
Okay.
revisit that in either when we
11
come back
o'clock.
or the 11 o'clock hour and
That is
just
good.
do a plunge on that subject today. Because honestly, that's what I typed in last night and rewrote early this morning was, is this all like, we're over it? But then what should we do about it? And that's the thing that's going to happen. And I think some of these camps need to be careful because some of them are being so offensive toward the other person that they're turning off their voters.
Yep.
And you're not gaining ground. And that's the part that I'm like, ooh.
That's all what I wrote
Ooh.
about this week. I agree with you.
Yeah. And then some of them are working behind the scenes, you know, and I don't know which is more which is worse. You know, when you work behind the scenes to kind of tamper, I don't know. Or when you're just out front. But it's getting icky and I don't like it.
To make your skin crawl.
It just makes me go, ugh. This is why when I did my internship at the Tennessee legislature, I was like, I can't, I just don't want any part of this. Like, ugh. Well, here I am.
We got 1 minute. You want to do Gen Z word of the day?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is actually Gen Z phrase of the day.
I'm for this.
When something blank, it impacts you in a way that is better than in normal circumstances. Quote, this sauce just changes the entire dish. It just blank, 2 words.
It just tastes good.
No.
It just
you can't say
The two,
aura
so the two words
vibes.
the 2 words start with H and D.
hits different.
It's different.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
It just hits different.
Just
That's
hits
nice.
different.
It's nice.
It's like
But that could be bad or good.
well, no, it's mainly good. Like if I'm if I'm talking about I don't know, a certain song or like just that, like it just hits different. Like it's just I don't know, I can't put my finger on
Okay.
it. Or the or you could say it in the way of like, man, the form, like it just hit different. Like it was so tense. It was so, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to use that today. Impalatable. The form was not palatable to all.
But it did hit different.
It's good. Guys, we're
I like
off the
it.
chain. We're off the rails.
We're cooking.
Y'all are mogging.
in our puffy sleeves.
I
We are mogging. Speaking of mogging, have we said who's going to be with us today?
so excited about this.
Paul
actually.
DeMarco
Yes.
will be with us at 11:30-ish. I think in studio
in studio.
to talk about
Crime.
prisons, terrible judicial systems. I don't know. Maybe he'll mog.
I bet he will.
He always dresses really well.
He's sharp.
He'll be mogging. We'll be back.
To talk about the maps in districts, JP. We're going to plunge.
It's been a while since we've played our 8-second long flush.
I love the non-HE flush. It's my favorite. Kind of like toilets that are too short and you're like, these are nice and old. I like it. But that's it's a great sound. It's the sound that's paid for my life, JP.
Yes, literally.
So I can't, my whole life. So for people that are like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's my life. And I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So here are the details. Chris and I are talking. We've talked back and forth. JP, we've talked with Allison. Like we've talked and talked and talked. But what in the world, how do we even get districts in the first place? Because that matters as the foundation for what's going on right now. And so may I, sir, ask you a few questions? Maybe you have the answers. Maybe you do not. And we'll explore together.
I think this is worth sitting back with the mic in my lap.
I like it. You should do that. I like that. Someday we're going to have comfy chairs and we're going to be able to put our feet up and just chill. For now, though, JP with the mic in his hands. All right, number 1. Point 1. How are congressional districts determined, JP?
Population? In theory?
Close. In theory. Because, I wanted to make sure I got this right.
Well, population and racial population. Is it a mix of them both?
Well, what it is congressional districts are determined through a 2-step process: apportionment and redistricting, which adjust boundaries every 10 years based on the decennial U.S. Census to ensure each district represents roughly the same number of people. JP, do you know how many people that is?
No, I do not.
You might have to ask Dr. Google.
Let me see.
It's about, if you're talking congressional districts, about 700,000
Population per congressional district?
per congressional district. Maybe less than that, but hit me up with that number. Because
Population per congressional district.
yeah,
It says the average population per U.S. congressional district is approximately 784,000.
yes, I like it when I get things right.
Based on the 2020 U.S. Census.
Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. And prior to, I would say 50 years ago, maybe longer, our districts were drawn based like not just on population, but it was also more regional. It was the Gulf region. It was the Wiregrass. It was the Black Belt. And when I say Black Belt, originally it meant the rich, loamy soil in that area of the state. Great growing country. It switched though, and it also came to double entendre theater represent the large Black population in that area as well. So apportionment means, I'm defining terms. This is super basic, but enough people ask questions that we need to be basic because I need the lesson. Apportionment means 435 seats in the U.S. House are divided up among the 50 states based on population. If a population grows, the seat may be gained. If it shrinks, it's going to lose a seat. That's how it goes. Redistricting, once the state knows how many congressional seats it has to redraw its internal geographic boundaries to account for population shifts. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In most states, drawing the lines, the state legislator is responsible for drawing and voting on the new maps. Seems simple enough. We know that because we've witnessed it. However, several states utilize independent or bipartisan redistricting commissioners to remove the line drawing from legislators and self-interested politicians. That's from Dr. Google. I didn't say that. That Google said that. And then the legal constraint is that one person, one vote legal standards been established by the Supreme Court. So all districts within a state must be nearly equal in population, and maps must also comply with the Federal Voting Rights Act, which prohibits, this is so funny, this is an interesting statement, JP. Tell me what this means to you, which prohibits drawing lines that intentionally dilute the power of minority populations. See, like,
That means draw lines that don't have majority black citizens in the districts. Draw lines that don't guarantee a black representative.
or do you think it could mean they don't want to dilute the voting power of minority populations, so they are going to draw certain districts?
Yeah.
So interesting, super basic. Like, it's literally really super basic, but we need to know the basics because Alabama can't quite get this right. Can we?
No, not quite.
To me, and see if I'm wrong here, JP, see if you agree with this assessment. But as I'm reading this article in Red State about Alabama's redistricting. Hello and welcome back. I am Amy Beth. She is Allison. He is JP. I'm trying to find a pen. And welcome back to the Right Side. At 11:30 today, we have Paul DeMarco, and we are going to talk about crime and things that, as Republicans, I think it is a blind spot, but I'm interested to get his perspective. Then tomorrow, we have Jay Mitchell and Pam Casey. And then on Wednesday.
Well, you just dropped a nuke right there, by the way.
I'm just going to roll through. And then we have Wes Allen. I did. Then we have Wes Allen. And then we have also the National Religious Broadcasters, Troy Miller. We saw him in Dallas. And then after that, on Friday, we have the Bussy Brief. So we have a whole week.
You're missing someone.
Who did I miss? Oh, did I say Corey Hill?
No.
Corey Hill. Hey, Corey Hill, you're coming on Thursday.
Not Tuesday.
Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Thursday. I don't know.
Friday, Monday,
Thursday,
Sunday.
actually.
Yeah. So there you go. We have a week. It's a whole week. But first, we have a montage.
Time for news.
I'll kill your whole family! Your whole family's dead! Come on! Children, your wife, all dead!
Let me be clear. ICE engagement creates an incredibly dangerous situation. It makes the situation worse, and I refuse to back down in fighting the Trump administration and the threats they've made.
You understand why introducing that president would be something that some of your teammates would have a problem with, and why it's viewed as controversial?
Look, I respect the question. I understand the question. My statement's all that I have for you guys right now, and that's where I'm at.
State law signed this week by Governor Ferguson will expand eligibility for non-U.S. citizens to become police, firefighters, and prosecutors. These jobs were typically not available to people without at least a green card. But now immigrants with temporary protective status, refugees, and asylum seekers will be able to work in the careers mentioned as long as they have proper federal authorization to work.
The Freedom 250 State Fair, a Trump-backed event, faces setbacks. The majority of musicians billed for the event now pulling out. Trump saying he'll step in, announcing a rally on the National Mall on June 24th, and floating the idea of scrapping the entire 16-day event for a Make America Great Again rally, rather than, in his words, having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and yet who do nothing but complain.
Okay. All right.
I'm curious y'all's thoughts on that one. And by the way,
Yes.
I can't believe. Well, I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I'm glad Allison's back to have the conversation, but I'm kind of surprised we haven't talked about Jaxson Dart at all in that whole situation. I don't know if y'all have kept up with that.
Did you say backed out of the conversation?
No, back to have the
Oh, okay.
conversation.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I was like,
no,
I never back out of a
no.
conversation.
I'm glad Allison was back to have the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You just threw out two things. Where do you want to start?
Well, I think we start with probably the anti-ICE stuff first
Oh.
in New Jersey. I don't know if y'all saw that, but there was massive anti-ICE riots where some protesters were telling ICE agents that they would kill their whole family, their wife and their kids. But then the New Jersey governor decided to say, instead of, well, she talked about how many protesters came from out of state and all of that, but then she also made sure to make clear that this is not going to change her stance about fighting ICE and their they make things worse, all of that. So even found a way to put the blame on ICE and all of it. But yeah, it was really bad this weekend.
It was absolutely unacceptable that people are screaming that they're going to kill you and your whole family. I don't also know why, and I don't know, this was in Newark. So, is it Mikey? I don't know what her name is. Cheryl.
Mickey.
Mickey, thank you. The governor.
She does spell it weird.
It's a weird spelling. Like, I
Yeah.
get it because my name is spelled weird. But the idea that she's not going to give ICE a pretext to expand operations, and yet it's in her state that the protesters are losing their minds, setting things on fire, acting a fool. At what point then do you ever prosecute any crime? Like, I don't know, because there is no rule of law. And I don't understand, what is it going to take for, like, what do you do with governors who won't follow the law? And then what do you do with these ICE officials who are just there to do their job, along with protesters who are completely left wing and absolutely destroying wherever they go and protest? I don't know what you do with all that.
Well, from what I saw, ICE actually started arresting people, like had people on the ground hauling people off. And I think if ICE actually follows through with some of that stuff, I mean, it said people started scattering after they started doing that. Right now, we've been so hesitant to act. It's like we allow them to hold us hostage in what we are willing to enforce, when I think, because some of the argument is, well, every state should have the right, and I'm huge on states' rights. Every state should have the right to defend itself, and stand up for its own. But this is a federal issue. I don't know how you tease it apart, that the impact that these illegal aliens, it's not like they go to Alex City in Alabama and the crime and the issues and the burden on the taxpayers just stays right there in Alex City.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it goes to Birmingham and it expands into other states. So I don't know how you can argue that this isn't a national issue in which the federal government would have jurisdiction to go in and handle, because just them being here illegally is illegal and it's a federal crime.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you argue that they shouldn't be there. But if you're going in, you have to be willing. This is like we said with Iran. You have to be willing to finish the job and actually go in and do what you say you're going to do. What we've done up until now is let them kind of harness our strength.
Mm-hmm.
So just go do your job or get out.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think it can't be a both and.
Right.
You can't reason with them. It's like reasoning with a toddler. That can't be done. You have to lay the law down. I hope. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that they've been arrested, but you're right. We've been hesitant. We're suicidally empathetic to this group of people when their whole point is to drag communities around it into a bigger fight because they are communist and that's what they want to do, because they think then they can create a revolution. Whereas most of us are watching this going, this is oddly coordinated. You are threatening to murder people. And in the past, nothing really happens to them. Maybe they get bailed out after a night. But I hope that we really truly hold them accountable and turn this ship around, because it is a disaster. It's a disaster.
See, I don't know if, like ICE, I don't know if their issue is the suicidal empathy part. I think it is like you see with law enforcement in general. They're just scared of the repercussions of doing something wrong, of being sued, of getting into an altercation and shooting someone and then them going to jail. But so that's where the Trump administration and the federal government has to come in, and they have to know that we have their backs.
Yes. Oh, let me clarify. I mean the leftists that are there.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
protesting.
saying.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Those are the ones who are just absolutely, their empathy has turned into a toxic waste, a dump, versus those people who are there to arrest and to deport. And they're the ones that are getting threatened. Surely, I agree 100% with you. They need to know we've got their back.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Mickey Sherrill would just go, I'm not really going to give ICE a pretext to be here, is unbelievable. Like, you're a governor.
Why don't you protect your people by saying, you know what? Let ICE do their job. They're coming in to get the bad guys. I mean, they've pretty much said at this point, they're not going after the hotel workers and the construction workers, which agree or disagree with that. Why in the world would you want the rapists and the criminals to stay on your streets? And then why wouldn't you just, and this is what I feel like the Dems could have almost saved America in some ways if they actually had used their brains and just said, get off the street. Let us handle this in the town square of ideas and policy. But they don't, because that, again, doesn't accomplish the goal of what you're talking about, of Marxism and communism and destroying America. They have to do this. So I don't think it changes. People do change when there are consequences. And if they actually end up in jail, maybe that will change things. Everybody split up last night or this weekend. So I don't know.
I don't know. JP, what do you think?
I just kind of laugh because it's like they're not even doing deportations as much as we want. And y'all, it's still, an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know that. It was expected. I saw Hassan Piker was there, which was
that's cute.
predictable. But yeah, I agree. I mean, that's just manufactured chaos, and you busting all these people out of state. And like, I don't know. I guess it was just the same song, same dance of protests, out of state agitators. Some people get arrested. The liberal governor doubles down against ICE, just like another chapter in the same book. But yeah, the main part, I was like, guys, they're not doing enough deportations. And it's, it's like, I'm mad at ICE, or for not ICE, but like the administration for not doing enough. I think Greg Bavino, who we played his clips a couple of times, I should have included this in the montage. Maybe he was asked about the current state of deportations, and he said that Trump needs to stop listening to Susie Wiles, who's telling him to slow down the deportations. Tom Homan a couple of weeks ago admitted there's been a massive drop in deportations. So like, yeah, they're not even doing it enough. So, and it's, it's like, guys, we want more. They're not, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
But that proves the point. You can never like satiate the appetite of the left, no matter what you do. So I don't even know why we try. Okay, fine. We won't go after the sweet hotel worker that's been here for 20 years illegally and has zapped, she's had 6 kids that take from your kids in public education, whatever. Okay, you're right. We need to be nice. We won't do. They're still burning things down. So why do we even try?
And I'm sitting here thinking about having a governor like that they elected. I mean, it's not different than Mamdani in New York City, but they elected this lady who won't help at all, who is siding with the protesters. What do you do? Because you can't even tell them, okay, well, you understand you are watching over your state's demise right now. I don't even think they care about that. Like, I don't think they care. The revolution is what they're after, and their state's going to crumble. I mean, it was once the Garden State. It is the Garden State. It's a beautiful state, but is that really what New Jersey voted for? Is this? Because it's not going to get better. And you're right. There's no satisfying this appetite for chaos. None. I just still can't wrap my brain around having a governor like that. But then I guess they've got Spanberger in Virginia, who's also terrible. But I don't know. Watching the implications of that and her, I'm not going to give them a pretext.
Yeah. It's
exhausting.
tired.
It's so exhausting.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Jaxson Dart situation real quick?
Yes.
Because I think it's worth talking about, and I'm curious y'all's thoughts on it. So if for those who aren't aware, last weekend, I believe it was last weekend, that Jaxson Dart at an event in New York or New Jersey introduced President Trump at a big rally, and it predictably sent shockwaves in the sports world of the liberal sports media and such. But the thing that made it worse was his teammate, Abdul Carter. He put up a tweet saying like he thought that it was AI. He can't believe it's actually real that his quarterback was doing that and introducing the president. He then later put up a post and said, we talked about it, whatever. And then there's actually a picture from when Jaxson Dart went to camp afterwards. Him and one of his other teammates, Tavon Thibodeau, they were having a conversation, and Thibodeau was like crying, like talking to him, like getting emotional about.
Is this the Ole Miss guy?
Jaxson Dart's the Ole Miss quarterback.
Yeah, but where did Thibodeau play?
Oregon.
Who's the? I was thinking, who's the new Ole Miss quarterback? Anyway,
I can't remember. But yeah, it's been a big thing. But the thing that's encouraging is that Jaxson Dart did not like what the reaction they want from the Jaxson Darts, and they being like the liberal media and the liberals in the sports world. They want him to cower and to say, I'm sorry. But he doubled down and said, he had a respect for the office and that he's not taking the bait of the media, like in that clip, but can't you see why it's controversial to introduce a president like that? And he's sticking by his statement that he, has respect for the office. But the whole situation is just crazy. I mean, not unexpected, but the fact that introducing a president at even think about it like 10 years ago. I mean, I understand Trump changed everything, but like, would it be a big issue if there was a Republican president and a quarterback like introduced George Bush or something at a event? Like, it wouldn't be a big deal. And then it wouldn't be a big deal if, somebody introduced Obama. Like, it has become so polarizing and divisive for a president to get introduced by a quarterback but the players, like, you throw your QB under the bus like that. Like, that's just such a scummy thing to do as a teammate. I don't know. I'm curious y'all's thoughts on it though, about the whole situation. Jaxson Dart doubling down and not cowering to it, but then just the whole reaction from his teammates, liberal sports media. Like I said, I'm not surprised, but every time it happens, I'm like, seriously, like, is there nothing better to talk about than introducing the president of the United States? It's just baffling to me, but
I don't think we've had a president before that brought out such big emotions, but women are known as the emotional ones. And here men are acting like women, crying because he introduced the president of this United States, but the leader of the free world, and they're upset about it and they're crying. Where has logic gone? Where has the ability to respect the office without, let's say you're one of those people who can't respect the person. Fine. Nobody's asking you to do that, but we are asking you to respect the office. And who are you in the United States of America to become a gajillionaire, acting like you haven't had that opportunity at all? And you're crying because your QB introduced a guy you don't like? Heaven help us.
that's a real picture, by the way.
Do you want me to do the thought bubbles? Come on, man.
How could you do this? I loved you. I trusted you.
So pathetic.
And Jackson's like, dude, pull it together. What are you doing? There are photographers everywhere. I don't know. I have a little bit different take in that we can lament that we hate where we are and that it's not George Bush anymore, but we are where we are.
Right.
So when you do something like that, whether it's right or wrong, or, it, like, I'm like, would Jaxson Dart have introduced Biden? My guess is no, but maybe, and so we are where we are, in which case go do it. Introduce Donald Trump. But honestly, when I read this morning that he said, I respect the office of the president, I took it differently than you did. I was like, he's backtracking. I think you say Donald Trump is the greatest president. I think that is doubling down by like, yeah, that's who I support. Y'all, if you introduce Biden, whatever, I don't care. But to me, that was like a little bit of a, I don't like the heat. So I'm just going to say I respect the office.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. But just know this is coming.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, though.
It's an interesting.
It's sad. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, if you're on a team and you got a lot of different, and you're the quarterback, and you got a lot of different personalities and different opinions on the team, like, I understand, but that just having that reaction, it baffles me. Like, do it behind closed doors, first of all. Like, if you're gonna cry and have a conversation, don't do it, in front of everybody on the camera.
Spring practice.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna, like, Abdul Carter putting out that tweet publicly, like, hey, moron, like, have that conversation behind closed doors. Like, I it's fine if you don't like it, then talk man to man behind closed doors. But then he put up a tweet afterwards when he said that we talked about it. He said something about like, y'all can keep running with the fake narratives. It's like, you're the one that made the tweet. You made the tweet. You put it out there that was, you had an issue with it. So I think, like, I understand if Jaxson Dart did that and you're a teammate and you didn't like it, you have that conversation man to man in the locker room and then you move on. But they chose to make it public and make it me, mm-hmm. like usual. But I don't know. It's just exhausting. It is tired, but I'm not shocked by it. But I wasn't, even though, like, I get it, Allison, like, we would have liked it better if he was like, yeah, I think President Trump's awesome or all that. But I think that was the best, like, statement he could have made to not cower. Because he still has to be a quarterback, and saying that probably would have made it worse. So I think they just want to move on from the situation. But I did think that was a good sign that because he could have gone out there and said, I should have thought it through. I'm sorry. I should have asked my teammate. Should have thought about all of the consequences. He didn't do that, which I thought was encouraging. But, like, they want that reaction. And by the way, if it was anybody other than, like, Jaxson Dart, who is an Ole Miss quarterback with, like, long blonde hair and some, like, 6'4" white, like, he is such the target, like, oh, he's a racist, so he's an easy target too. So
he is, I bet, watch this year, the Caitlin Clark of the NFL. She doesn't accept the narrative and she does her own thing, but she's the best one. I want for him to go out and not accept the narrative and be the very best one, because what I thought, because I didn't read it as a back down, but I can see that I hear your take and that makes sense too. But my take was, in the end, I was like, oh, he was raised right. And also his super hot wife and or girlfriend said, don't back down. And he was like, I'm not backing down, but I want him to go out and crush the competition this year, just because the entire conversation is silly. And why is it that the men in the NFL don't know more of what's really going on out here and what Trump is doing for America in general versus people who've come before him? It doesn't make any sense to me. But it's ridiculous that you cannot think differently. It's ridiculous that they want to shove a square peg in a round hole and say, get in line, like you're part of Nancy Pelosi's machine. Just say what you think. And it's going to take more people like him to set the rest of the NFL free. Because everybody doesn't think like, what was his name that put out this silly tweet?
It's Abdul Carter.
Abdul. Everybody doesn't think like him. There are more Jaxson Darts out there, and they will reveal themselves because, like Allison always says, courage begets courage. And I want to see more of that. I hope this is not the last time. But now I'm a fan like Jaxson Dart. I don't even know. Who's he play for?
The Giants.
Okay, see. Look, I can only keep up with the Steelers, and that's just barely. But go Jaxson Dart. Go Jaxson.
Go Jaxson.
He spells it in an interesting way, though.
Jaxson.
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 Yeah, you can never apologize to the left. You just can't. Never apologize. Go out and do it. Be yourself, but then own it. When we come back, I guess we have who's Governor Ferguson? What state is that?
Washington.
Washington, 250. We'll have a discussion about what's happening online and a lot of races in Alabama. And then Paul DeMarco at 11:30. We'll be right back.
Back at SCOTUS with a layup from the DOJ's Civil Rights Division. It seems to me that it's like a woman who can't make up her mind about where she wants to eat. It's not SCOTUS. It's the lower court 3-judge panel. It's these people who can't quite make up their mind because they're saying one thing and then they're like, oh, but this, oh, but this. Or like a man who's playing golf. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. And you're standing over your bag and you're like, am I going to do I want to chip or putt? Like, is it time? What do I do?
Texas wedge it.
That's what this is to me. And I felt silly because I was so confused. I thought it was cut and dry. Did you think it was cut and dry?
Yeah. I knew there was a little bit of nuance to it, but I thought it was overall pretty cut and dry.
Same.
Yeah. I didn't think there was up to much interpretation.
Okay. So this week you saw that SCOTUS vacated the district court decision in early May. All right. We know that. Tuesday, the same 3-judge panel, once again, this is driving me nuts. Help us understand this, JP. They blocked the use of the 2023 map on the same basis that the maps are deliberately discriminatory and violate Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. The district court panel claims that they are striving to prevent confusion among the voters. However, see if you agree with this statement, their refusal to apply the latest SCOTUS ruling to determine the case has bred more confusion.
Yep.
Okay. When I read that, I thought, oh, thank God. I thought it was me.
No, they are just breeding more confusion.
Okay. So that makes me feel a lot better. So Alabama Solicitor General Barrett Bowdry urged the court to freeze the lower court's ruling and allow it to use the 2023 map. That's where trouble happened. I'm just skimming through this article. But Bowdry continued that Calais vindicated Alabama's position on the lawfulness. Yet, the district court decided in 1 week that Calais changed nothing. And if you're thinking that was brave of this district court, did you think that? You would be correct. And I'm thinking, oh, all those years ago when the phrase activist judges?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that this is running through my mind?
No. 100% activist judges.
Okay.
To go against what the Supreme Court itself ruled. Like the highest court of the land said it, and yet they're still bucking the system.
Okay, that makes increasingly feeling validated.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they are women who do not know where they want to go eat, but they're starving.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you continue. Yeah.
Worse, Bowdry concluded the district court's conclusion that the state intentionally violated the Constitution rests on the idea that Alabama intentionally, this is crazy, intentionally discriminated by refusing to intentionally discriminate. If that sounds crazy to you, it's because it is. Like Bowdry is correct. Bowdry is basically, Jennifer O'Connell writes, begging the court to make this make sense. And it does make little sense, except, and this is where the activism comes in, and I wonder if you feel the same way, except as a tactic to prevent the August 11th special election from moving forward. Do you agree with that? Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense. Yeah. I think so. Like that's a way for the panel to obstruct, you mean?
Mhm.
To keep
Yep,
it the
yep.
5-2 up until the August 11th.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ivy actually, I think, pushed back the deadline for the August 11th election today. So I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I do think that's an angle to it. Yeah.
So the deal is, and here's, I think, the crux of it is that the district court paid lip service to the obligations to disentangle race and politics, and to begin with the presumption that the legislature acted in good faith. But what happened is it looks like not only the district court didn't do that, but now that 3-judge panel didn't do it either. They were making assumptions. And they were assuming the worst of what the legislature drew and was approved, even though it turned out that was discriminatory. They're doing it again, this 3-judge panel. They're assuming that our legislature acted in bad faith. That this is how it comes across to me. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
I'm telling you, I had to reread this because it got so confusing. But as she laid it out, I thought, okay, I feel validated. They've made it confusing. It almost seems intentionally so. And then finally, essentially, Dylan and Sawyer, because Harmeet Dillon wrote a brief to go along with it. Hi, the music stopped because I was asking Allison some questions and she was helping me. Thank you for your patience.
Parenting during the break.
We look, you know that girl group, I Mom So Hard, that's basically, it's us. Okay. We do our best.
Y'all kids are a whole lot.
Oh, man. And then, anyway, it's a lot. All right. So let's revisit some discussions. Or before we do that, let me ask you a quick question. Do we want to revisit what you said before the break about campaign, all the crap going on, the mudslinging? Would you prefer that? Or, friends, do we want to talk about Washington State allowing non-citizens and refugees to become police officers, etc.?
And I think we should also talk about Trump's new plans for the 250 celebration.
Yeah.
Too. I think we start with one or two or both of those.
Okay.
And then end the segment with a campaign or a mudslinging conversation.
Let's do that. All right. So
I like to sing mud.
I like to sling mud when I'm 5.
I like to sing.
Oh, you like to sing mud?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Mud singing.
That's what you see.
Mud singing.
All right. So because the
Gen Z
Washington State passing an obscene law allowing non-citizens, including asylum seekers, refugees, and those on TPS to become police officers, firefighters, and prosecutors basically go along with not the Jaxson Dart conversation, but with the Mickey Sherrill, I'll kill your family, ICE protest, etc. So that's one extreme. And in Washington State, they've chosen to handle things in a completely different way, but it's also the same. It's not dealing with it. And so because we don't want to deport you and because we are suicidally empathetic towards your position, we're going to allow you to take positions of authority in our communities. And we're just going to hope that nobody sees anything unusual with this. And sure, if you want to become a firefighter, sure, if you want to become a police officer, just go on ahead. It's fine. It's fine. And that's led by, isn't it the same girl, and I blank on her name, who absolutely has never had a job. This is the new mayor, I think, of a city in Washington. Maybe she's the governor. But they've got problems. They've taken a once glorious state. It is a dump. I don't know if you've been, especially in the cities, in Seattle or even to Portland, a dump. Beautiful places. They've allowed them to be destroyed. And now this is a whole new layer that I didn't think was possible, but yet here we are.
Well, here's why I think they did it was because it's been a whole thing, or was a whole thing, when Washington of the local police not wanting to obey and eventually got to a point where they were just being adversarial to the DHS agents and ICE. So if you're going to put people in power and local police and such that are the exact people that ICE is coming after, then they're going to resist bitterly. So you're essentially just putting people in place that will resist the federal government the most.
That's a good word. I like that take.
Because, I mean, if they're coming after people like you, then you will do whatever it takes to stop that. And they're kind of like, all right, what's the best way we can make a civil war happen? Where we just, let's put the people in power that will fight the federal government the most fierce, and put up the biggest fight. That's why, I mean, obviously there's the other aspect of them just virtue signaling, but I think that was a big part of it.
It's pretty wretched, but I think you're right.
I'm trying to think of any good reason why you would allow this.
Well, because the most benevolent and innocent answer, we just want to give everybody here the proper opportunity to live the American dream and be an American, do whatever you want. That's the most benevolent answer.
But is there a that's kind of a neutral answer to me. Is there like a reason that is positive that you can see as positive for America? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have a job and they're employed. See, they're employed. The TPS worked.
They're contributing to society. Maybe police is understaffed.
They're paying taxes.
Yeah. See, it's all good, guys. It's
6'7".
6'7". I don't know.
But if revolution is your aim, this is a great way to get it started.
Yeah. I've never been to Washington State, but I don't think I ever want to go now.
It's beautiful.
I know. It's
beautiful.
And a lot of it isn't crazy.
Yeah, but like Washington State, like the country, outside of like Seattle, probably.
Gorgeous. I mean, even just driving from Medford, Oregon up to Seattle, had no idea how far it was, but Wesley and I took that trip once. And the towns, the vista, like gorgeous. And then you get to the cities and you're like, oh my word.
Ugh. Ugh.
No.
Ugh.
Nope. Hard pass.
Ugh. I'm trying to do. Yeah. Ugh. There it is.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so hip.
Yeah. Was that with Britney Spears?
That was Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. That's right. God, Britney. I added like 10 years to that skit.
That's such a funny.
Yeah.
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 That's the sound effect.
It should be, actually.
Okay. That was real. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll put it next to the kitty bear.
Bless it. Did you ever tell her she was an angel once?
I'm not gonna lie.
I can answer.
I'm just kidding.
I can answer. No, he did not.
You didn't say, "Come here, my angel. It's time for breakfast."
Yeah,
That's why she was scratching you.
I think she sensed that I'm not. I mean, I'm technically allergic to cats. I think she sensed that I'm not a cat person and probably knew like
I'm going for his eyeballs.
Away from me.
Yeah. Satan.
Bless it. I mean,
I don't know what she thinks. Did you beat her?
No.
She just didn't like him. She doesn't give off. He doesn't give off. I'm a welcoming cat person.
No.
Because, in all situations, and you all probably know this out there in listener land, you either give off, I'm a friendly cat person vibe. That's your aura that you farm. Or not. And the cat's like, meow. And that's what she did the whole time you were gone.
And that's why the dogs love me, because I love the dogs.
I think it was more than that.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Are cats like horses? You know how they say if you get nervous around a horse,
they can sense it. They can smell fear.
Yeah. It's really.
But that's why like the dogs, because I go like, bear, bear, Bo, what's up? And then with the cat, I'm like, and then back, she's like, it's like she's dragging her feet walking by, and I'm like,
they'll have like a stare off.
They're having a cat cuss off.
What's funny is it got to the point, if I stood up and walked near her, she would like, and scurry away. And I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm going to get the kitchen. Like,
hey, how does she sound? What does she sound like? Kitty Bear. Oh, darling. There he goes again. What a fool. Rubbish.
Oh gosh, that's a funny thought. How does Kitty
How
Bear-
does she sound? How do the dogs sound? They're like, do, 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 do. See, my
Yeah.
chickens are like, hello, hi, how are y'all? You know, they're not,
No, this
not
is
okay.
good, Abs. I like where you're going with
Bear,
this.
Bear is at the point where there's no thought behind his eyes anymore, or not yet. So he's just like, hey, what are we doing? Hey.
My dogs are my bear is so tall. This morning, Chris and I were sitting in the front room talking, and all of a sudden, his little eyes pop up, and I'm like, "Oh my word, we have a dog like my children." He's like, "Hello, hey, hey, can somebody let me in? Hey, hi here."
Aw. It's like Patrick Star. That's what I think of with Bear.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my Buffy, but in a girl voice. Can you do that in a girl voice?
No, probably not.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah. So when I walked in Ab's house the other day, and Bear was laying down at the end of the hall, and I walked in. It was the first time I've met Bear.
Oh, Moose.
Oh,
That was
no,
Moose.
excuse me, that was Moose. And I
Moose.
opened the door, and he went like, "Woof," and stood up and looked at me, and I was like, "All right, are you mad or not?" And then I saw his tail was like,
It's like a windshield wiper. He's perfect. I love him. I love Buffy, and I kind of like Bear.
you kind of like Bear.
Well, he killed chickens last week. 5 of them.
How old is Bear? We need to have this discussion.
He's 18 months. He got fixed.
He did?
Yeah. His
Oh,
testosterone is
okay.
still there.
Okay.
It's not out yet. It's getting better. It's
I
fine.
remember that.
It's fine. Okay.
Real
All
quick,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Let's talk 250 because there's been a lot of discussion about this
All right.
on the Twix.
Everybody, I need one word when you saw that this had happened. Martina McBride, this one's for the girls. Okay, no. And then the front man for, was it Poison? I don't know. Other people, and they're like, we are not able to perform. I want the one word that
Yo, I was this far away from the mic.
JP.
we have mom hearing.
I'm
What do you
sorry.
say?
We-
What?
We have standards here, JP.
and they are this high.
We have standards.
This is my second monster. Okay.
How about,
Oh, Lord.
okay, hey, if you sense it coming,
There's
hit
a-
the button.
Put your head beneath the table, let it rip, and then sit up again.
I couldn't even hear it in my own mic or my own headphones.
You
Yeah.
are dealing with 2 moms of 4.
It's because you heard it in your head.
We hear things before our kids even do them. We're like God, except for not.
No, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. Anywho, what was the one word that ran through your mind when you heard of all these people saying, we're just not able to perform because we just don't want it to be political? One word. What was the one word that you thought that would encapsulate people backing out?
Shocker.
I don't know who I am today, but I kind of didn't blame them.
Allison, I need a word. Indifferent?
No, what's your word?
Well, I thought it was weak.
See,
Yeah.
I don't like it from, okay, first of all, let's go back. I don't know if I was here when this was announced, and maybe y'all already talked about it, but I saw the lineup. I was like, this is the dumbest lineup I've ever seen. Like, what are y'all doing? Milli Vanilli's not even real.
Yeah.
Like,
no one,
they were a total fraud. Why are we bringing them back up? So I wasn't going anyway. But when they start backing out, if what I'm hearing, the reason for it is true, which they all kind of had the same thing, which was like, we were told it was going to be one thing. Like, it was put on kind of by a nonpartisan We Love America group. And then all of a sudden Trump started co-opting the whole thing and just saying it was basically a MAGA rally. I don't really blame them for that. It's like Jaxson Dart. Go introduce the president. Go stand behind that. If you agree to something, yes, agree to it. But if they change the terms and conditions on you, that's not cool. I don't want them to do that to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you were doing it and then all of a sudden Biden's like, I'm going to introduce everybody and it's going to be a We Love Libtard rally. I'm out.
Well, I think the main angle I'm curious about, because I agree with you, is that the main conversation has been Trump effectively floating, just turning it into a massive Trump rally. And if people, I guess the main question is, what do you think about that? Do you want it to be more about America as a whole than Trump? Or are you okay if it's a whole MAGA rally? Because I saw Matt Walsh in particular had an issue with it. It was like, this is the 250th to celebrate America as a whole. And if we're just going to have another Trump rally that we've heard 60,000 times as the 250 celebration, like that's just weak and boring. Not that Trump shouldn't speak at all, but if we're celebrating 250 and it's going to be a MAGA rally, that is a bit tired. Like, okay, we get that every other week, may have something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
So could it be that it turned into a Trump rally as these people are withdrawing? Because at some point, if you have said, I'm going to sing and I'm there for the country and for the people who are my fans and whatever, like, I get it. That's one thing. But is there nothing anymore that people will just go, I'm going to sing anyway, even if I agree with you, the lineup was like, who are these people? This is old. I don't like them. But still, it still seems like it doesn't matter what's done. If it has anything to do with patriotism or the right, people are like, I'm out. But what about all the liberals that would have showed up anyway? And so did Trump start turning it into something that is about himself and we're just going to have a Trump rally, which I don't like that either. But do you think to save face, he started turning it into, well, we'll just have a rally? Because it is embarrassing that those people were pulling out.
No, I think Trump trumped. Trump is exactly who he's always been. I don't know why anybody's surprised. Somebody set this up. Somebody had everybody come and agree to this lineup. Trump got wind of it and had to insert himself into the middle of it because that's what he does. And then kind of took it over, even if it's just on social media, taking it over. And these artists are like, that's not what I signed up for. I'm thinking they signed up for like the old school concert when you didn't know what the political beliefs were of the people that were singing on stage, and the left and the right didn't care. Like you could go to a movie and not care about who the actor or actress voted for. Like, and then all of a sudden Donald Trump trumped and took it over. And now his ego's hurt. And he's like, well, I'm just going to have it a whole celebration of me.
Yeah. I don't like that. But I do. I think it was all probably a disaster. But as you see people pulling out, if indeed they change the terms, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But at the face of it, if you're just talking about, because they have talked about it for a while, a celebration of America, can you guys just not commit to that? Like, for example, somebody as innocuous as Martina McBride. Like, can you not just do that? But then again, if they've changed the terms, that's a whole thing entirely. And then you add into, I think he's saving face, just like you're saying. He got hurt. And now it's about me. That's also ridiculous. Can we not just celebrate our country, period? And I don't think, maybe that ship has sailed. Or maybe when somebody who doesn't evoke such strong emotions is out of office, can we go back to having...
That would take an agreement between both sides. And I don't know if that'll ever happen. Yeah. I maybe a few years ago thought we could, but I don't know what could ever unite us again.
Fair.
Like not even a 9/11. That's the last time I remember it. Because we would have half of America literally cheering for Al-Qaeda flying planes and killing America.
You're right.
Because of all the terrible things we've done to the Muslims. Yeah. I don't know. I think those days that ship has sailed.
I don't think you're wrong.
We've crossed the Rubicon.
Apart from, we are not about Christless conservatism, but apart from heart change.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes, there's always that.
You're right. That ship has sailed and we are headed off the cliff. Okay. But that's why we're here. Because we're not going to lose hope. We're going to keep fighting. Just keep fighting. Just keep swimming.
Do you know what other ship has sailed?
What's that, sister?
Civility
You
in
know.
Alabama politics.
I'm not going to say what came to my mind.
What?
I don't know why, but when you said that, I was, you know what else ship has sailed? I just wanted to say, these nuts.
You want to go ahead and burp in the microphone
Sorry.
again too?
I'll
Just go for it, JP.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk about civility and decorum and how you handle yourself, and you're like, these nuts.
Well, it's not typical of Allison to be like, you know what else ship has sailed? Yeah.
I was trying to do a very
it's just
a
funny,
good transition.
Yeah,
That was good.
Sorry,
That was really good.
yeah.
Yeah, that was very professional, and we're impressed. But yeah,
Oh yeah, it's a good. Okay,
that the good
Can
ship,
you pull yourself together,
the good
young
ship
man?
lollipop, the good ship civility,
Gone.
I'll
out.
I'll add a couple of 3 or 4 minutes to this segment because I think that's a good conversation to have.
Okay,
Oh.
and our guest
We
is
got
almost
extra
here.
time. Look at that.
Line,
Look,
please.
you youngins.
Today,
If we have any Gen Zers watching, you're probably, I guess it's out on Twix, like you're watching on Twitter, but the Facebooks is
Yeah.
where all this is going down.
It's bad.
It is so bad. It is so bad, and it's almost every race.
It's true.
It's almost every race. At least at the top of the ticket, the U.S. Senate race, the lieutenant governor's race, actually the governor's race, the attorney general's race. I mean, it is just across the board getting really dicey. And I told somebody yesterday, I was like, it's like everybody stole Big Brother's Adderall and took it all at the same time and is like, "Ah!" and like just doing really stupid stuff. And here's my thing. I'm not going to speak about things specifically. Look, if you want to, go keep up online. If you don't, your life will be better. But when you get into going after campaign staffers or family members, I have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
That to me, let's talk about, you always say this, let's talk about policy. We can talk about votes. We can talk about positions. We can talk about history of the person that's running, because your past does somewhat reflect your future. We believe in Christ and forgiveness and redemption. So what is the pattern? You've got to look at the pattern. Just because one person has like a blot in their past does not mean that's who they are today. Praise God. But it's getting really, really chippy, and I don't like it at all. And these campaigns, I guess it's a strategy. I say that all the time. It's a strategy, but it is either going to tank these candidates or it will get them across the finish line. But I don't know if there's any in between. And a lot of these races, I don't know how it hashes out. It is not good for the state of Alabama. Let's take the U.S. Senate race, for example. Barry Moore and Jared Hudson, neither are bad people. They're very different personalities, but neither one is a bad person. To insinuate that one of them is a bad person, or the people they surround themselves with are bad people, or they're imperfect people running for elected office that have chosen to put their lives under a microscope for a year. Barry Moore's been in, political office for a long time. That's exhausting. That's a lot. Imagine if your life was under a microscope. Gosh, I probably should never run for office. But I'm okay. Let's talk about Barry Moore and Jared Hudson. We can do that. But when you start getting into the outer edges of people and start targeting and going after people, I just think it's classless, and I think the people of Alabama do too.
They do, and they're over it. And you know what? They stopped caring on election day, on primary day. And so they're watching this thinking, this is why I'm not involved at all. Because people are slinging mud. They are thinking they're hitting their targets, but for what? Because in the end, we're going to be getting behind one of the people who wins, whether they're your candidate or not. That's what's going to happen. And we're going to have to get along. And so how do you get along with people with whom you've smeared and lied about and sought to do harm to some of their staffers or their family or you're making fun of somebody's family. Like, it is in some of the things I saw this weekend bordered to me on that's inhumane. Like, what are you even doing? Because I think you're turning, some of these campaigns are turning off people that had been for them. And now they're like, I don't think I can go for them anymore. This is ridiculous. So because we've lost our moral compass, even the people who once had it seem to have lost their grip and they've lost the plot. And like us who love politics and we love this stuff, like we're over it, just over it. But the way you treat people and the way you treat people online is the same as driving your car. Your character is revealed in your car when you think nobody can see you and you cut people off and you don't use your blinker and you just whip it into a spot ahead of granny. It's the same way online. You may be innocuous and faceless, and maybe even you're using a fake account, but your character is still on display. And that's not something that's easy to walk away from if you've gone to mudslinging to try to get your person elected to office.
As you're talking, it's funny because it's like you watch these different strategies. And I was talking to someone else this weekend. I was like, there's a difference between being politically savvy. And I get that. You build alliances, you build your team, you build your network that works for you and with you. And sometimes that's behind the scenes. Sometimes that's publicly. That's just politics. But then there's a really thin line. And here's maybe where it gets complicated is maybe everybody's line is a different place. But there's a very thin line between being just vengeful and evil and trying to destroy lives. And as believers, which everyone that I can think of in these races claims to be a follower of Christ. As believers, you better be checking yourself real quickly as you employ some of these tactics, whether they're on Facebook and out in front, because I've seen some of the campaigns, they prefer to kind of work and destroy people behind the scenes, you know, where their fingerprints aren't on it. And so I don't know which is better or worse, the one that's just really out front or the one that's kind of happening behind the scenes. But either way, I don't like it. At the end of the day, I can't think of one person in any of these races that is like a terrible, evil person that we should really be against.
Right. That's right.
Well, I'll say this too. I don't mind if it gets tense about policy and gets tense about the office itself. Like the attorney general's race, for example. I mean, it kind of got ugly in terms of like calls for redactions and all. But I mean, even the claims Catherine was making were public record. It was just Jay disputed how she was spinning it. But even at the debate, they kind of went at it about campaign finance and things like that. Like they went at it about policy. It wasn't really personal. And then they actually did shake hands on the stage afterwards and took a picture. And I'm like, that's how it should be. Like, it shouldn't be personal.
Exactly.
But, and then also I kind of have the side of if you're in a runoff for an important race, like attorney general or for US Senate, it should be tense. Like I want somebody to win that office that wants to win that seat. And it should be tense, but it should be tense on policy and like healthy competition and the battle of ideas. Whenever you get just mudslinging, just a mudsling and make it personal, like you said, that's where it's a turn off. You know, make it about the policy. Don't make it personal and make it about the office because you want to go at it about who's best to serve the people. But if you go at it of who's the better person or who I'm just going to mudsling about you personally, then it's not about the people of Alabama. It's about you. And you're trying to push somebody else down to make yourself look better. Where, I mean, if you're competing about, I actually can serve the people of Alabama best, and here's why, then that's okay. But yeah, when you start to bring in staffers and other people and family, then it's like, okay, what are we doing? Is this just for you? It's like a mudslinging contest, you know?
I have secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
That's good. Or the little tiny dandy of a Bible verse. Hey, why are you bothering with the speck in your neighbor's eye when you got a log in yours? That's really what we're watching. Get it together, people. We've got a week to go.
Please, cannot be here.
Love your friends at the right side.
Paul DeMarco's here. He's going to be mogging. Just wait. He even has his sunglasses on.
He does. Put them on, man. No, put them on.
No, we're going to mog with the glasses because we are cool. We'll be back.
They surmise that the 3-judge panel disparaged Alabama's good faith intent, twisting it into an effort to be intentionally racist. And for me, this is where it always lands, is they don't seem to want to let our past go. And they're holding it over our heads. Other states are getting the job done. We keep trying to play ball, but it seems that they are the ones who do not want to play ball with us.
Yep.
So what's really going on here? You've given, as Jennifer writes, a very tight window to have an election, even though Kay Ivey's just pushed the date back. That's great. But what else is going on here? Could there be other things? What's the most innocent explanation? What is the most nefarious explanation?
I think the most innocent explanation is the explanation they gave of they being the 3-judge panel, that they didn't want to create any more confusion. They just wanted to keep the maps as they are. And, we got a primary, we got elections. We just don't want to confuse the voters. Let's just keep the districts as they are. And so I think that's the most innocent explanation. The most nefarious explanation, which I think is the correct explanation, is that activist judges are butthurt and pouty about SCOTUS ruling against them and showing them up. And they just want to obstruct and make the process more difficult and make Alabama jump through another hoop and ladder and appeal to Supreme Court. That's what happened. And activist judges are real, and that's just another example of that, unfortunately. So they're just pouty that Supreme Court did the right thing, and they're just trying to make it even harder. So like arrogant people, like the 3-judge panel, they think they have all the power in the world to virtue signal and go against these racist legislators. So they're just going to make it harder just because they can, even though they can't let go of the past and they don't see it as racist to have racially gerrymandered maps in the first place. Yeah. But I'll add another angle to this. I hate to be that guy, but I got to go there.
Go there.
Of the legislators, because, excuse me, let me raise my chair back up for this one after reclining while you did a fantastic job breaking it down. The legislators, we've been pushing for a 7-0 map since the beginning of this whole ordeal. And the explanation or reasoning we got as to why they couldn't was it'll get shot down. It'll be, there'll be more hearings and more this and that. It will make things way, way, way harder. If we just approve a map that's already been drawn, then it's already been drawn and approved, and we can just go with a 6-1 map. And then maybe we'll get to 7-0 eventually. But the 6-1 map has already been drawn and approved. So we'll just go with that, as if it'll be quicker and more seamless than if we did a 7-0, because the 7-0 would get tossed. Well, the 6-1 got tossed. So we got the same result with a 6-1 as we would have gotten if we did a 7-0. But if this doesn't make sense to you, if you're having trouble understanding it, essentially the Supreme Court was telling Alabama with their ruling, not just the ruling in Louisiana, but approving the motion by Steve Marshall to remove the injunction that wouldn't allow us to redraw until 2030 and kick it back to the 3-judge panel. What the Supreme Court was essentially saying, we're going to give the 3-judge panel the opportunity to do the right thing, but if they don't, we are essentially telling you we will approve it if you appeal it to us. So you're essentially not drawing a map for the 3-judge panel. The legislature was drawing a map for SCOTUS, who's on your side. Made that big ruling in Louisiana, removed the injunction. They bent over backwards to help Alabama redraw their maps before the primary. So if you know that you're drawing maps for the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, who is on your side, why not go all the way and do a 7-0, knowing that it's going to get approved by the Supreme Court? And we go back to the same question of, do they not know that? Are they incompetent? Do they just don't understand it? Or are they lying to you, and are they deliberately not doing it because they don't want to? And so if we're back at the same place that we would have been if we did a 7-0, which is the 3-judge panel throwing it out and then you appeal it to the Supreme Court, then why are we walking into the Supreme Court with a half-cocked measure and not going in full-fledged 7-0 like we could have? That's the frustrating part. And that's a whole nother conversation that we can talk about hypothesis or Hypothetically, we could talk about why we think they did that and reasonings, and maybe I'll give you a bone for this, and then you can help me out later with other things, them being Republicans to the Democrats. But that's the angle of like, we got the same result you said a 7-0 would have gotten with a 6-1. So why did we not go 7-0? You know,
part of it, I think. Welcome back to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Thrilled to be joined by a longtime friend, Alabama attorney, and a representative.
Yeah. How do you introduce yourself? Who are you? What's your bio?
Just Paul.
You're just Paul.
From here.
I'm basically Paul, but
Lived
you've
here my whole
done
life.
kind of everything.
Yeah, I mean, I served in the state house for 10 years and born and raised here. I tell people I was born here, raised here. I got a plot at Elmwood Cemetery, not going anywhere.
Oh, well, we'll visit if you do. We'll be there.
You definitely can't go anywhere.
That's old school, actually. Look at you, really are a Birminghamian.
Yeah.
So you're involved in all the things. Most people probably remember your last run for office, and now you're still lawyering. And thank you for fitting us in today.
No. I appreciate
Commenting on politics and culture. But this is a conversation we don't normally have as Republicans. But it is crime, it is truth in sentencing, perhaps an update on the state of prison, something we talked about on our old show a lot. And I told you when we were together at Mark a couple of weeks ago, I didn't really realize the impact of crime until my son's car was stolen twice. 2 cars, 2 times in the span of 31 days in Birmingham. Opened my eyes. I'm sorry my eyes weren't open before then. But could we talk about first, because it has to do with the legislature, truth in sentencing and what that looks like? And let's just start there.
Well, and I write a lot about it. I comment on it. And I chaired the Judiciary Committee when I was at the State House. And that's why I have continued to stay involved with this issue, because it is important to talk about issues y'all talk about, like education, economic development, those issues. But I think we kind of take it for granted. We live in Alabama. We live in a red state. You see some of these crazy stories, what's going on in New York and California and Massachusetts when it comes to crime. But we have those issues here in Alabama. And we need to continue to talk about them, because there's story after story that's just outrageous. Like, that happened in Alabama. I'm like, yeah. And that's why it is so important that I appreciate y'all allowing me to talk about it with y'all today and for your viewers and listeners, because it's just not happening in the Seattles and New Yorks and Los Angeles. It's happening here in Alabama. And it's not fair to crime victims, but it's not fair to all of us who want public safety. We don't ask for much, just public safety. But we've got a criminal justice system in Alabama that's not working based on the laws.
Give us an example. You said there are stories after stories.
I want to read it just so it's not just Paul DeMarco, just,
Well, I'm sure that'd be more entertaining.
There was an individual who was pled guilty to murder. First, he had been indicted for capital murder, top of the top. He pled guilty to murder. He was sentenced to 20 years, but it's called a split sentence. Now, split sentence means he was only to serve 5 years, and the other 15 would be on probation.
Like out?
Yes. So he was out. He just had his probation revoked because he shot 3 people, including a UAB doctor.
Oh, my word.
But I want you to think about that sentence. If somebody said somebody pled guilty to murder, what would you think the sentence would be?
Life in prison?
Or you would die?
5 years. We've got in Alabama, it's called split sentences. And the legislature just passed it and made it even, it's already been the law in Alabama, but it has made it even more of a use, so that when somebody says, you're sentenced to 20 years, oh, he's going to be 20 years. Well, for starters, we'll talk the whole parole board and what's happened with parole. That's a whole, let's talk about that today as well. But right now with this split sentence, he was only sentenced to 5 years, but he'd already served, I think, most of his time. So he's back out there. And so we're seeing that time after time again, where somebody's being sentenced, but they only have to serve, 5 years of a 20-year sentence. They're probably been in prison, in jail, till their trial went on. And we're seeing that over and over. And guess what's happening? We're going to start seeing more and more crime victims as some of these felons get out and commit more and more crimes. That's happening in Alabama. That's a story from Jefferson County,
Mm.
but that happens across the state of Alabama. And it's a discussion the Alabama legislature and district attorneys and the attorney general's office needs to have. We do not have truth in sentencing. When it comes to federal, it's more of a day for day.
Mm.
If you get sentenced to 30 years in a federal pen by a federal prosecutor, U.S. attorney, there's more likely you're going to spend more time as close to that 30 years. In Alabama, it's not.
Why? Has it always been this way? Has there always been split sentencing?
It's actually gotten worse. It's not gotten better. And you're like, oh, wait a second. We have, Republicans in charge, more conservative. Our parole system is broken. Now, I will give credit to lawmakers for passing Aniah's law and for the Alabama voters for voting for it and just increased it so that when folks are accused that they can stay behind bars. And we've had other laws that have passed, the horrible circumstance where the deputy that was killed in Bibb County and that individual was out up in Sheffield and Colbert County where the officer was killed. That individual should not have been out. So we've changed the laws, but we still have this issue with split sentences. And we also don't have truth in sentencing in Alabama. And you hear the same thing. We don't have enough jail cells to do it. We don't have enough room to keep everybody. We've got to give every opportunity to let them out. But when they go out and kill somebody, we have a reactive criminal justice system. We have an Aniah's law, the deputy in Bibb County, the one in Colbert County. We wait for somebody to get killed, and then we say, legislature, let's go back and fix it.
Ugh.
So what I hand you a magic wand, this pen, and you say, I can fix it all. What do you do?
I mean, really to have a system more like the federal, more of a day for day. Now, some folks, we can't do that. We have to have more good time and folks getting out. But we are creating a falsehood for crime victims when we say a judge is going to sentence somebody to 20 years when they're only going to serve 5 years. Or when we say this person is getting life. Well, life is not life. They're probably up for parole in 15 years.
Mm.
And we had a really good chair of the parole board, Lee Gwaltney, who was not reappointed by the governor. And ACLU and Southern Poverty Law Center, all these groups were out there opposed to her being reappointed because guess what? She was doing her job. She was looking at each case on a case-by-case basis and saying, should this person be paroled when they've only served this many years? That's what we have. We're telling the public we have a criminal justice system, but really, folks aren't spending the amount of time when they're committing these violent felonies.
So if we don't have enough beds, as they say, what do we do about that?
Build them.
Don't we have one being built right now, but then it's like doubled in price?
I think it's the latest number, like $2.1 billion. We have one that's going to open in the fall and then another one that's supposed to open. So you have the one in Elmore, and I think the other one is it in South Alabama, maybe in Atmore. But we have 2 prisons, but I think the concern is we're not building big enough prisons, but what they've talked about is building 2 new ones and then closing some of the old ones. I don't think you can close the old ones. Whether we like it or not, we need to have these beds. And I'm afraid we're going to build these 2 and then not have enough room. And everybody's like, well, let's figure out ways to release more folks from prison. But if they're violent felons, and that's another myth. Oh, well, we can just release the shoplifters and the ones convicted of marijuana possession. Let me just tell you, 85% of inmates are there for violent felonies. So which one do you want to release? The rapist, the guy or the girl that committed attempted murder, or pedophile? Which of these violent felons do you say we don't have the beds for? So it is a hard discussion. Nobody likes spending all the money. I mean, when you look at our general fund budget, we have an education budget and a general fund budget. The general fund budget, almost 50% of it is Medicaid and corrections. The other 50% is supposed to go for parks and mental health and judiciary and running state government. It's a lot of money. And it's not very sexy to talk about, building more prison cells unless you're a crime victim.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on my tiny little world, when I found 3 Glock magazines full in my son's car, I thought this could have ended very differently. And the police didn't even find them in the car. I found them, and my son-in-law found them. So my perspective has changed completely, but it's not anything we really talk about as Republicans. We're like, arrest him, put him in jail. But I had no idea that there was a split sentencing situation. I had no idea that we didn't really have enough beds, because you only heard about that one prison we talked about a lot. I didn't know about the other one. But the truth in sentencing is a big deal. And the question, though, is when you're saying it's getting worse, but when did we pivot away from victims' rights and making sure they were taken care of and the criminals were arrested and held accountable? When did we pivot?
Let me tell you, y'all spend a lot of time at the State House. I guess the next time y'all go to State House will be next February when they have the or January when they have the organizational session. Or look at the list of the number of lobbyists for crime victims. There's Vocal, and Wanda Jones does a great job, but she didn't have this huge paid staff. Then you start looking at the number of lobbyists for the groups like ACLU and Southern Poverty Law Center. There's a long list with a lot of money who are getting a lot of money to go to the State House and lobby for this. You'd be shocked. There are more individuals lobbying state representatives and senators to get people out of jail than for crime victims down there. And I'm just going to say it. Somebody who was a Republican state representative, chairman of the Jefferson County Republican Party, I've been shocked at some of the votes that some of the Republican legislators, not all of them, we got some good men and women down there who do support public safety, who have voted for some of these bills that are just unbelievable. That you'd be like, you go out and campaign for public safety. Isn't that what Republicans do?
Yeah.
Public safety. But then go to the State House and vote a different way.
How much of, and I think you were there with the Beeson-Hammett bill. Were you in the legislature when they were first talking about kind of immigration before it was really this hot topic? How much of this illegal immigration is contributing to, because I'm trying to think, like we talk about, okay, overcrowding. We need to build more beds. We can't close the prisons. Well, my goodness. I mean, yeah, people are moving to Alabama, but there's a bigger picture issue of probably culture of why we have all this crime now. And also, does the immigration part come into it?
I mean, in the past year, I know there was a rape by an illegal alien, and I think it was in Autauga or Chilton County. But, I think, we see the Lincoln Riley story and we can go about all the Angel families. But I think in Alabama, I mean, that may be part of it. But the one I'm talking about is just folks who live here. But because we don't have a criminal justice system, the repeat vendors, the revolving door at our courthouses, to me, that's the biggest problem we have, is the revolving door. And if you have a criminal justice system where there's a plea deal taken and then a judge who does not give a good sentence, then we're going to be right where we were before.
I
But
guess thinking of your logic, I'm thinking if we have a revolving door and they're going in jail and out of jail, then why is not having enough beds an issue? Because you would think, beds would open up, and obviously we have a crime, a heart problem. There's like some sort of bigger picture that's at play here. What is that? Like,
I mean, and
'cause you
obviously we're
gotta
not going to
back it up.
solve. We're not going to solve all the
No,
problems
but I'm
about
curious your thoughts of what you're
somebody,
seeing.
education and poverty and all these issues. But you can look around the state of Alabama where the crime is. Now, look, you're going to have you can look at all 67 counties. But I mean, again, if you look up and down the I-65 corridor, look what's going on in Montgomery right now, and what has gone on there, and some of the crime there. But you look in Jefferson County now. Crime is actually down in Birmingham as opposed to where it was. But we're still, I mean, this case I just cited was from last week. And you've got, here's, I think, one of the problems is we don't have enough transparency. We don't have enough people talking about what's going on. And we need to be reading the headlines, say, well, which judge sentenced this individual to this when they should have been more? Which district attorney took a plea deal like this that shouldn't have been? I mean, we just need to talk about it. And I don't think we're doing enough of that. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm talking about it, but we all need to be talking more about it. We hear all the terrible stories out of these other states, but it's happening here in Alabama as well.
Yeah.
And we need to be talking about that in addition to education and economic development and transparency of our campaign finance laws and ethics and all the other stuff. It needs to be a continuing conversation. Look what just happened. Look at this sentence this last week. Look at this crime, and guess who did it? Somebody who should have never been out on the streets in the first place.
That is the thing that always takes my breath away, is that somebody just got out of prison. You know,
And we need to be talking to our public officials about this and saying this is an issue in addition to these other. This is as well. Yes, we can talk about, pocketbook issues, absolutely, but public safety, especially when you're involved in it, is your number one issue, right?
Yeah.
If you're a victim, that's the number one issue affecting you. That is not discounting talking about finding a cure for cancer and reducing the cost of living. And look, Alabama's got a lot of great things going on. We've made a lot of progress in some areas. But I feel this is an issue that we've got to address once and for all, because you read this headline about someone out on jail after he was pled guilty to murder in 5 years. How is that happening?
I think about I grew up in Knoxville, whatever you think about that. But like, we remember in middle school, you'd go like walk the mall and you had your little beeper, that's how like your mom would get in touch with you. And then you'd have to go find a payphone. But you would go like 12, 13 years old and you'd go walk the mall and you'd go shop or whatever. And I think now, because people want to say, we talk about Jefferson County or downtown Birmingham, or we talk about Montgomery, and you saying this is an issue everywhere. I think about, I call it the gonorrhea, the Galleria. And like, I wouldn't drop my 12-year-old child off at the Galleria at night to go just hang out. Like, you're going to get shot. You're going to get, I'm exaggerating, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it had gotten bad at the Galleria. Now I want to give, credit to Chief Dursis. I think trying to address, making sure that the police have all their funding. I know the police chief, the new police chief, he's incredible. But you make a point. I mean, there have been several shootings there and people are like, oh my gosh. So it's not
my
just,
point is, when you let these people
Birmingham
out, they don't stay in one pocket.
Right.
That's exactly
Yes,
right.
that's
That is
right.
exactly right. It can happen anywhere, any place. And we can't just look, there were 4 individuals that escaped from a prison in Perry County. And didn't they just catch one of them in Centerpoint or something, or Pinson or something up here in Jefferson, in the Jefferson County area? But Jefferson, Shelby, it doesn't matter. You can't say, oh, I live in this great little neighborhood and nobody's going to bother me. You can't take that for granted when you have a criminal justice system that is failing crime victims and failing the public.
I think that is such a good discussion, and knowing the both of us, it's kind of the tip of the iceberg, because it really isn't anything we've dealt with. We've experienced it, but we haven't dealt with it, that we will dig into and consider, because it's a whole nother issue. But you're right. The point is our public safety. That's the point. And if that's not being preserved, we need to do something about it and have hard conversations. And we will go look at all the lobbyists for one side versus the other. That matters. And I think that question of what kind of homes are these kids coming from, in addition to the education and economics, because I think it is a heart issue and we haven't dealt with that either. And then beyond that, what's the point of jail or prison? Is it for reform or is it for accountability? Like, there's so much to this. It's the concentric circles that just keep going out.
You're right. It's not just, you can solve with this. It's the folks who are getting to the point that they're committing the crime, and then within the criminal justice system and going from there. So yes, it's a huge conversation this entire country is trying to have. But we see some states, there's like, they don't want to have bail. They want to defund the police. That's still going on. Don't think that's not going on. But how do we solve our problem here in Alabama? I can't solve what's going on in California or New York. The 3 of us can't. But we can ask our elected officials. And look, it's an election year. We can ask everybody from top to bottom, from the governor's race down to the local city council. What are you doing to make our community safe? Shouldn't that be one of the primary?
Fair question.
Everybody running. What are you doing? And how familiar are you with it, candidates? You know what's going on in our criminal justice system? I think that's got to be one of these issues. Not just, oh, I'm Republican, I'm conservative, I'm for public safety. That's not good enough anymore. That should. Well, let's get into it. What are you going to do about this? What about some of these bills that were passed that weakened our criminal justice system, when candidly the Republicans have been in charge of the legislature since 2010, and we passed some bills. We passed some good bills that have been good for criminal justice system. We've also passed some that have weakened it.
As you're talking, I was thinking about how and just you talking about how people don't really seem to care or be talking about it and reasons why we should, from, not being able to in 1992 walk the mall to thinking about social media with kids. Like, you don't have to go to a corner in downtown Birmingham to find the drug dealer. The drug dealer is literally on Snapchat and TikTok. And the kidnapper, the white van, is on TikTok, right there in your living room in Greystone. That's terrifying. And so it will really matter, this truth in sentencing, when your child that's sitting in your house in Shelby County, unincorporated little suburb, and that drug dealer shows up in your driveway while you're at the grocery store or at church.
You could talk to some of these. You can talk to a school resource officer, pick a school system, about some of the issues that they're watching, or some of the police officers, some of the issues going on. And like, there's a lot, we don't see the headlines, something that's caught before or whatever, but some of the sting operations, some of the issues that are out there that are caught before it makes the street. But you're exactly right. Zip code does not matter when it comes to crime.
Not in this age of technology.
No, it's happening everywhere. And so that's why we've got to talk about it. I think, well, we can't solve it. We can't solve what's going on in somebody's house or whatever. Well, that's why we got to, it's across the board. It is education. But again, what is happening? We can change the laws in Alabama to make sure that those who commit a violent felon are not back out on the streets committing more violent felonies. I guess
is that where you would start? Would you start with the legislature? Or like, if you had to pinpoint, okay, so we've identified the problem. What's the solution? Well, it's vast and it's large, but where, for everyday, like us normies, where do we start?
I'd say it is an election year, so be talking to everybody. We're going to have a new governor. We're going to have a new lieutenant governor. We're going to have a new attorney general. We're going to have a lot of new legislators. What are we going to do about taking this issue on and discussing it when lawmakers come back? I mean, we can talk about it, but at the end of the day, the statutes are going to have to get changed when it comes to some of these issues, like split sentencing, so forth. So that's where I would start and say, okay, we want you to do this, this, and this, but we want this to be part of that agenda. I mean, you can talk about education reform and economic development and some of the other issues, campaign reform and some of these other issues, but that's got to be part of it as well.
I nominate you, because I know you're not busy at all. I nominate you. You know how Terry Lathan started Rome for all the education issues? You need to start a lobbyist little group where everybody can join your club, and you get your little minions to go with you to Montgomery and lobby. Because it's so hard if you aren't in this system, if you aren't familiar.
And I would invite y'all sometime to have Wanda Jones, who's the head of Vocal Victims. They're the advocate for victims in Montgomery, and they can kind of give you some stories. And they go to all the parole board hearings to advocate for crime victims. That's hard. And candidly, some of the legislation the past couple of years has not been before the parole board. It's not been pro-victim. It's about how can we make it easier on some of the violent felons. And that's what's just so frustrating. And if they weren't there, and some of the folks for the attorney general, the current parole board, Vocal, made some suggestions and they rejected them that were pro-victim. Does that make any sense to you?
No, not at all.
I mean, so I think all of us can do that. And I have great anticipation or great confidence that our new governor, Governor Tommy Tuberville, will tackle this as part of his issues. What can we do to make the criminal justice system in Alabama safer for Alabamians?
Absolutely.
I think that'll be one of the issues that he will address when he's governor. And you can ask him when y'all interview him.
We will. We absolutely will. This is the tip of the iceberg. But this is great. It's not great, but we appreciate you bringing it to our attention, because it's,
Well, I don't know what else. Yeah, it's great if you have great schools, but if you're getting shot on the way to school, they don't really matter. So like, what else is kind of more important than this?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. And it's like everything else. It's not your issue till it is your issue.
Yeah.
But if you're a crime victim,
amen,
it's all that matters to you.
All right. JP said we have like 1 minute. We end the show, because I know you watch every day. You know how we end the show with Would You Rather. So you're going to have to play Would You Rather. JP, do you have Would You Rather?
Let's see. Would you rather have fingers that are twice as long or twice as many fingers?
You're the guest. You got to go first.
Fingers twice as long or twice as many fingers.
So basically, have fingers or 20 total
like a
fingers.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yes. What do we want, guys? Edward
I'm
Scissorhands.
going more fingers because you could type and cook at the same time.
Can you imagine my typing cat if I had 20 fingers?
Oh boy, you'd be unstoppable.
That'd exactly.
Just like that. What are you doing?
I guess longer.
Really? That would be so annoying. You'd have to
But see, they don't have to cook or type, so they. It's fine.
Because he's a man.
He's a man.
I
He
love to
does
cook.
what he wants.
I love to cook.
I'm sure you do, and you're probably really good at it.
Do what I want.
Cook for
Paul
you sometime.
DeMarco,
I'll
thank
cook for
you so
sometime.
much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all for what y'all do. Glad
Keep
to be
us
with y'all.
posted. Let us know
Absolutely.
how that advocacy lobbying firm turns out. Y'all, we will be back tomorrow with a crazy, fun show as usual. We'll see you then.